You can laugh at me 'cause I'm crying, and you can tell your friends how much I begged you to stay.
We were in the Philippines once, and they told us we just got off the plane. It was a very, very long trip from Scotland, and they said, you must, whenever you arrive, you must come and play on this TV show.
#1.
And because you have a #1 record here, right? And we went, oh, okay. And we assumed it was Love Hurts, because Love Hurts was a hit everywhere, right? And often they started playing it, and it wasn't Love Hurts at all. It was a completely different song called Where Are You Now? And I just stood up there and went, bah, bah,
Which we didn't know.
bah, bah. And the guys were all like, you know, because thankfully it was a limp sync.
Guys on the guitars and the drums, well, you could pretend, you know, even if you can't remember the chords, it doesn't matter. You're just, you know. But he had no idea what the words were, you know. And he's going like, and it was just the wrong song. We never sung the song live.
We had to go out the next day and buy the record and learn it. And thank God we did, because when we played it at night, people went crazy. So I can imagine what they would have done if we didn't play it. You know, so hopefully what we try to do is give the people a good time. Like when they go home happy, you know, it's like, you know. Because if I go to see a show, that's what I want to leave and think, that was good, that was fun, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to preach to anybody or you know, this is what you should do politically and all that. I'll leave all that to Bono. He can deal with that. You know?
Why are you being so aggressive?
Give me that fucking camera.
Why are
back.
you being like this to me?
Why am I being
What
like
did I
this?
do to you?
You're fucking always like this.
What?
And because I'm slightly pissed off tonight, you're making a big deal of it.
Why are you so pissed off with me?
Because you're fucking always moaning.
What did I moan about?
Fucking everything.
Jimmy, what's wrong?
Off.
Hi. You've probably just witnessed me being a complete dick at the train station about 3 o'clock yesterday morning, which was day 28. I just want to point out that that was completely my fault.
You can cross your heart and still be lying.
And to access the song Dream On, well, as soon as we heard it, we knew this is going to be a huge hit, you know, because it just, well, it screams hit at you, you know. And we were right, it was #1 in I don't know how many countries, you know.
The thing is, it's one of these songs that about 3 times in your life, I suppose, a song like that comes along. Love Hurts being one of them, and Dream On being another one. You just know with the chemistry in the band at the time and how you sound, that you can make this sound very good. Now, whether it's a hit or not, you never know that, because there's lots of really good songs that just miss. You don't know why, but they do, you know. But this one, fortunately for us, didn't.
Stuck on a train. The man who plays the guitar is going out of his brain. And no one seems to notice. They just think that he's depressed.
When we think of cover songs, like we want to make them ours, though. We want to make them Nazareth songs. Right?
Doesn't sound like...
So it doesn't sound like the original, you know? That's the same when we did Love Hurts. It doesn't sound like the Everly Brothers, you know, or Joe, whoever.
Roy Orbison and... In a lot of cases, people think we wrote the songs. I wish we had. There's so many millions of people think we wrote Love Hurts. Oh, God, I wish I had.
We didn't have Love Hurts on the European album because we did another song. We had a song called Guilty, right, on it. But we did, in those days, you had to make 3 or 4 extra tracks for B-sides, because for singles and that. And Jerry Moss, who was the M in A&M, got the tapes and went, why isn't this on the album? I think this is a hit. God bless him.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry. And he went, no, no.
Take
Guilty off and put Love Hurts on. And he was dead right.
I know it's true.
was there when he did that. And I was saying to him, by the way, it's a nice little late. I'm going downstairs with like a toasted sandwich. I'm going to the sandwich shop. In a minute, they're not fooling me.
I know, it's weird, eh?
Buff Hutch was like the first.
That was the
big
first
rock ballad. I mean, it's not sung like. It's. It's big. We didn't compromise on that, you know. We never even thought it was going to be a single. We thought it was a B-side.
A B-side.
Like you said, you know. We recorded that thing in about 15 minutes.
No, it wasn't bother.
You know, it was just that we needed another song.
The rest of them.
That was it. You know.
See me in the light of your affection. See me, I'm
But one time we were really, really bored in the studio,
Right.
and we thought, we'd like to
We're
try,
going to do an ABBA
try and
song.
try and cover something that nobody else in a rock band would cover. And we thought, ABBA. So, okay.
SOS.
So we did SOS, and we've got a cover version of us doing
Doing
SOS,
SOS.
right? But we didn't finish it.
The verses, we did a great job on the verses, but when it comes to darling, when I need you, do SOS, nah, there's nothing you can do with that.
But
It's always
hey,
going to sound like ABBA.
At least we tried
Oh,
to
no,
do an
I
ABBA
like the
song,
song.
okay?
Right, we did have a go at an ABBA song, but we failed miserably. There was a time in the 70s we used to try and blow up the world. Like,
Yeah,
but everybody did. So it's
Every
starting to
band,
get
you know, every place you went, every band had pyrotechnics, you know, and they had booms and bangs and flashes. It was dangerous on a stage, let me tell you. It could get dangerous sometimes.
In the 70s, it was kind of madness, you know. There was, every weekend was big outdoor arenas, you know, like RFK Stadium in Washington, huge football stadiums in Orlando. And you'd have like Aerosmith, Nazareth, Leonard Skinner, Ted Nugent. I mean, all huge bands, you know, every week. And that was crazy, you know, in those days, every week that was, you know. And you were playing to 90,000 people, you know, at the time. That went on for all the way through the 70s. It was like that.
There's people I recognise that have been coming to our shows since I started doing it, and you know, and they're still coming, which is great.
Hallo, grüß dich. Gut hergefunden. Ist klar.
Besides that camera down here, we'll see where we're going.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we have a pretty wide fan base. I mean, it's, I don't know, 8 to 80.
We're playing to another generation, really, you know? So it helps us to stay, well, I was going to say young, but I don't think so.
If you enjoyed yourself tonight, I have as much as we did, then we enjoyed ourselves twice as much. You gotta know we love the show and how we have been treated, and coming back here is a must.
I mean, when we play in Scotland, it's a special show, then we get people coming in, the big fans, you know, they come in from Norway and Switzerland and Austria and Germany, and people come over from Canada. There was a couple of people came from Australia to see us playing in our hometown, at Dunfermline, because they wanted to be there. So they're the real big fans. this has happened so many times throughout the years. It really, really is so funny. And there'll be an envelope will arrive at Dan's house or at my house, whatever, you know, and it says Nazareth, Scotland. We get it.
That's a bit scary.
We still get it.
We call you a legend as a term of endearment in a jokey sort of way. How do you feel about that term though when other people call you it?
I find it embarrassing, actually.
Yeah.
I do. I find it embarrassing. It's like, wait a minute, you know, just singing a band, you know. And what happened to have lasted this length of time? So I'm not knocking it, but I'm,
No.
you know,
I mean,
not
you don't...
celebrating it either.
The last sort of 20 years that we saw a lot are like Uriah Heep were good friends of ours. You know, all the guys were really friendly with them.
Buy Canada. Yeah.
Timed it well, by the way.
You guys are in Canada more than I am. You're more Canadian than I am.
And we've played a lot with them, and we spend some time with them. They phone us and things, you know.
The thing about bands is, though, you're all working at the same time. So it tends to be emails or phone calls. You don't see each other very often unless you happen to be on the same show.
The only time we've seen Purple together, all together, and all of us, is because we were playing with them. Yeah. You know, up in Helsinki, we did a couple of shows in Finland, and then we did a couple of shows someplace else. And because you run into each other, you go, oh, I haven't seen you for 8 years.
Sunshine over, it's on fire.
We're actually playing more gigs now than we did when we were 28. It would be nice to actually tour a wee bit less, you know, because it's it gets harder.
That's what I do with age.
Close enough, rock and roll. Let your love ride aside, much higher than I'm meant to be. We take the space, start to play. The lights come up, we're all to see.
What's it like being a legend?
Well, it's a laugh, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean, if you think about it, right, 40 years, 20 of them, a good 20 of them, you've been what people... Well, I mean, right, for example, if classic rock want a quote from somebody, one of the people will phone is you. How does it feel? Dan said he was both embarrassed and proud of it.
Aye, well, it's nice to be still alive,
Yeah.
but it's. I mean, I really can't take it seriously.
We were never rock and roll idiots, I don't think. I wouldn't call it idiots, but I mean, we were never ones for throwing TV sets out of windows or getting into scandalous relationships.
If the TV's on and the guys don't like it, they'll switch it off. They don't throw it out the window, you know? It's easy just to switch it off, you know? But, so no, we never really got into that kind of rubbish, you know?
That was never what was important to us, you know? It was very important to management. Record companies, they loved it if you got into trouble. But, I mean, we just never fancied it much.
We're the same as everybody else. We drink too much. I don't know any band that doesn't.
The history of the band being, our first management was a guy called Bill Fahey and Derek Nichol. But then, unfortunately, he got killed in a plane crash with his son. And apart from the personal loss to everyone involved, the business side of it was a mess because it was Bill that ran everything. So then we got another manager once we got that sorted out, and he stole money from us.
He was a criminal.
He was a criminal.
He should be in jail.
So then we decided, well, we can't trust anybody but ourselves. So we started to manage ourselves. And that was basically what it is. Now, that's all very fine because you can keep your eye on everything. But because you're working all the time, you haven't got anybody out there just promoting, you know, just pumping the band, just, you know, trying to keep you in the limelight, if you like.
I was in a store in Switzerland recently, and the DVD department was huge. I mean, it was absolutely huge. But the CD department wasn't, you know. And on the CD department, it was all greatest hits. And very, very little new stuff was being promoted. Oh, it's there, but it's not up in your face, you know. They'd rather have ABBA's greatest hits in the front window. Well, we all know who ABBA is, you know. They don't need to tell us. What they need to tell us is about this young band who have just made a great album, but that doesn't happen now. Now, that did happen back in the early 70s, you know, the late 60s, early 70s, it did, and through the 70s. A couple of young guys from Scotland, they do like a Scottish rap record thing, and they wanted Dan to sing on it, you know. So he's on this rap record, and but the manager guy, he was talking to us, and he said, you know that the number one album, the number one CD in Britain at the time, had sold 25,000 copies, and we just went, huh? I mean, back in the 70s, if you weren't selling 25,000 a day, you weren't getting in the top 20, you know. So that's the difference.
So that's why you see bands like ourselves and all the bands of our age tour all the time. Because the album sales are a thing of the past.
Dad Summer Boys.
There they are. The men that survived 31 days in Russia and Ukraine. They're just absolutely magnificent. I'd really like to say thanks, guys. I love you.
Ditto, ditto.
'Cause now she's only a broken down angel. She's only a bird that's thrown away.
Nowadays, it's such a visual business. It's all about TV and videos and da-da-da. It's not really a lot to do with music. It's difficult for us because we are so old, actually. No, it is, it's true. It's difficult for us to still get played because people think we should go away now.
Gonna dive into the airwaves. Gotta make the moment last. It wasn't really all that long ago. Gotta make it last. Gotta make it last. Bring it on. Sing a song.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's playing a guitar, who's playing the drums, who's playing the bass, who's playing the piano, who's doing whatever like. The sound of your band is your lead singer. And if the lead singer sounds like he sings, it's Nazareth.
I've been listening to old friends.
You don't get Charlie Watts singing lead for the Stones. You got Mick Jagger, you know?
Aye, that's true.
Your lead man, that's the sound of your band.
Do I pay you now? Or?
When all of my time was wasted.
Rock and roll was an American invention, really, it was, and we all know that. But Britain took it to a different level when heavy hard rock started here. And I don't know how it developed on this tiny little island. It's really weird, you know, that started this music revolution. It's incredible, really, when you think of what came from this place. There's a Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love, things like that, Deep Purple. And that's when it really started to get heavier, you know? And that affected all of us, and it affected the whole world. You know, you got bands in America then wanted to sound like British bands, whereas in the early days, we wanted to sound like an American band, you know? I've no idea why. I don't think anybody does, but it happened, and I'm really happy it happened.
Gotta make it last. Gotta make it last. Bring it on. Sing a song.
We'd like to keep playing until we drop.
Now.